Hi guys, this is Tara with Gaia Tarot 13, and this is your weekly angel card forecast for August 14th through August 20th, 2016. I am back in my office, although Oregon was amazing, but all the lighting issues are fixed now, so you can see me and the cards, which is stellar because I am using the Butterfly Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue, and now I can actually show you things. So I was mentioning a couple weeks ago, well, I guess maybe it was last week, I was mentioning last week the back of the card and how it's blue with a blue butterfly on it. It is just beautiful. And then, of course, you'll be able to see the cards as I hold them up for each individual section here for the weekly. So we'll get that going here in a second. And they slide really nicely, which I really like. So, okay, so I've got only one pulled, I've got two left. As always, I am going to pull three cards. One for your work and financial life, one for your love and romantic life, and one for your home and family life. All right, so for your work and financial life, we have Welcome the New. See, you can get such better clarity now that the light's right. Welcome the New. So, if you have been looking to get a new job or a new job offer, or if a new project gets presented to you, accept it. Welcome the new. I actually just recorded the tarot video and it said something about being a little hesitant or trepidatious to take on new things, to move forward, and here the angels are to tell us, accept it. Something new comes in, whether it's a job or a project or whatever comes into your life related to your work life. It might not be you looking to leave. It could be that maybe you have a coworker that has left, and so like a new person is going to come in to work with you. Well, like, don't shun them. Not that I think that you would necessarily do that anyway, but, like, just accept what is coming in, who's coming in, what's coming in. Just be willing to welcome whatever new walks into your life this week. In your love and romantic life, we have volunteer. So, I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to get them close here. So, this to me is really reading like sharing your knowledge. And you could, of course, like always, big advocate, you could always go actually volunteer, and this is in the love section, so it's going to be related to partnerships, right? So if you want to actually go out and do something and volunteer, I'm a huge proponent of domestic violence shelters, go help, homeless shelters, things like that. If that's what drives with you, absolutely go do that. I feel like a lot of times DV shelters get overlooked often, and so since it's in the partnership section, I'm taking this opportunity to say, if you want to volunteer, that would be a really good thing to do to actually take action. On a different note, it could just be imputing your knowledge, telling people your experiences. If you've had a certain type of relationship, again, partnership section, right? So if you've had a certain type of relationship, it does not necessarily have to be a love relationship, but it can be. And you have a friend, family member, coworker, whomever that comes to you and is kind of like maybe even just complaining, maybe not looking for help, but even just kind of like needing an outlet to kind of let their stuff go if they're in a similar situation. This can be volunteering your experience, your knowledge, and saying like, hey, empathize, of course, hey, like, I feel for you and I've been through something similar, and kind of like tell them how you got through it and try and help them in whatever way you can. Sometimes people just need a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen, and sometimes people are seeking actual like advice, outlets, things that they can do, information that they hadn't thought of themselves. So this to me is volunteering, right? So volunteer your time, your actual physical time at like a domestic violence shelter or a women's shelter or something along those lines, or volunteer your knowledge to try and help someone else move through something. In your home and family life, we have healing from the past. Get this a little bit closer here so you can see that. I told you they're beautiful. So, it may be that you have something going on that is stifling you, and you have to identify it and work on healing it before you can move forward. Now, how do you identify it, right? Repeating patterns is a huge sign. If you're always doing something, and I don't really have a good example, say that like you have a history of not being so faithful with your partners, okay? No judgment. No judgment here. I'm using this as an example. And you find out that you realize that like, okay, yeah, I have that pattern, and why do I do that? You know, why do I do that? Have I not been communicative? Have I just been seeking things outside instead of speaking? You know, that sort of thing. It's just healing from the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be past life. It could be like this life's past, finding the patterns that you keep repeating over the years and figuring out why you're doing them so you can correct the behavior and break that pattern and break that cycle. So figure out what you're repeating, what's going on, what the patterns are, and the cause behind them. That's going to be the hardest part, is figuring out why you're doing what you're doing, and then taking the active steps to make sure you can identify when you start to do that. Okay, I'm going to stop. Because that corrective behavior is how you break the cycle. So that's what we've got going on this week. I am so glad that you guys can finally see how beautiful these cards are, because they are just gorgeous. So I'm probably going to continue to use them for a couple more weeks just so you can see some more of them, and because I'm really jiving with them right now. They've got like a nice energy, and I'm really liking them. So I'm probably going to use them for a couple more weeks, just a heads up. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for liking, sharing, and subscribing to my YouTube page. If you want to get a personal reading with me, the only way to do so is through my website, which is GaiaTarot13.com. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr, where I pull a card every day, reading the energy of that specific day. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week.